Hi, I'm Duncan Wood, Sage CRM Product Manager for the UK. Where a lot of CRM projects may go wrong in terms of delivering ROI is not seeing the whole picture. I think there are three key areas to consider when approaching a CRM project. The first is the business benefit, the second is the customer benefit, and the third is the end user benefit. I think if you tick all of these boxes, you're going to be having a successful CRM implementation. You've got to define your business goals right at the beginning. You've got to define them clearly and understand them, and also prioritize them. Using a phased approach, a phase one, getting our core kind of business benefits that we want to achieve is a good approach. Second of all, people always lose sight of why we do CRM. The whole point is for the customer to benefit ultimately. And really in a CRM project it's quite important to go out and talk to the customers and understand how we can improve their lives and improve their interactions with us by actually implementing CRM along with our strategy to achieve our business goals, but to make our customers happier. Thirdly, a CRM project really must have the end users behind it. It's got to deliver real benefits to them so that they adopt it and use it on a daily basis. You can use things like incentives. We could link it to their remuneration in some way through an incentive plan, or we can use the other thing, the stick, and say, if you don't use the CRM system, 3 written warnings, you're out. But that's not really going to work. Genuine user adoption is the way forward, and one of the key strategies in a CRM project is to use user focus groups to actually drive the project and make decisions right from the word go. Once we've defined our business objectives, we can then create a user group to actually drive the software and the processes to achieve those objectives. You're talking about a big change to an organisation, and change is scary for a lot of people. One way to alleviate that is to use all the right people in the organisation at the right time. The classic technique is to use an influential business leader to really sponsor and drive the project. Again, it goes back to defining your business goals and objectives and having your business leader articulate them very clearly to the whole business. Then again, the other way of doing that is to actually then involve all of the user community, so to use end user groups to help drive the strategy and give feedback. So it's not just an IT-led initiative that's nobody's got any idea what it's for, where it's going, or why should I use it. It's got to be a collaborative approach from the whole organisation, right from day one. I think for a successful CRM implementation, good data is critical. And there's two strategies for achieving that. Really, one is to understand that obviously it's the end user inputting the data. So we can make this as easy as possible for the end user in our CRM implementation. We can either do that through designing the processes to drive good data, or we can actually establish tools in the application to help them keep the data nice and clean and tidy, or we can again use things like mobility, so making sure that they actually have the data in the application on their handheld device or some sort of strategy so it's easy for them to update it. The other strategy is to kind of see data as a bit like you have to take your car for a yearly MOT. There's a kind of a maintenance kind of burden to keeping a car. Same with data, really. Again, too often people don't actually budget for keeping data clean. And again, there are services you can outsource your data to. There are tools you can buy, and services people offer to actually come in and clean your data. Again, it's probably a good idea for a CRM project to keep that in mind as a kind of yearly maintenance routine. I think the business target audience, whether it's B2B or B2C, doesn't ultimately change the way you implement the CRM system. It might change, the kind of data you keep, or the way you use it, or the business processes, but ultimately it comes down to the same core principles of how to implement, which is to establish your objectives early and prioritize against those so that you can deliver business benefits early in the project, understand the end users are integral to the project and engage them early, and have a strong leader to actually explain to them what the business is doing, where it's going and why it's doing it, and then to actually understand the customer profile. And this is where it is important, obviously, to understand the customer if you're in a business-to-business environment is different to the customer profile of a B2C environment. And again, quite often in this day and age, you'll be implementing maybe a self-service portal so that they can log in and keep their data up to date or do interactions with you over the web. And again, it's important to understand that really that self-service portal needs to be firstly easy to use, and secondly highly relevant to what they actually want to achieve and do.